Hey, Life Coach Church. It's day 2 of our 21 days of prayer and fasting, and it's kind of a windy, blustery day, which goes along well with today's devotional. And it's early on, January 10th. Maybe your resolutions and goals are still going strong. The gym was still full this morning, maybe for another couple of weeks. But today, as we're early on in our 21 days, I want to talk to you a little bit about your resolutions and your goals, and maybe even encourage you to push some of those aside and strive for something a little bit better. If you're like me, many times our goals, our resolutions at the beginning of the year are what Andy Stanley calls chasing after the This year in 2025, I want to be thin I want to be rich I want to be cute I want to be sexier, and we'll spend a lot of our time and our resources and our energy on chasing after those things and trying to accomplish those things. And if we accomplish them, many times we applaud each other for those things, which of course fuels our desire for more of the next year. But these can be very dangerous. Somehow we bought into this promise that if we achieve those things, those many times we'll be full in life. Listen to what King Solomon says about this drive we have to the He says in Ecclesiastes 4:4, he said, I went out, I observed, and I saw all labor, all striving, all achievement springing from man's envy of his neighbor. Everything that people were doing seemed to have its root in man's envy over his neighbor. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Have you ever chased wind? Yeah, you can't catch it. It's invisible. There's no way to do it. It's a facade. You'll never be able to chase wind and catch it, and so too are these things when we chase after When we go into 2025, how many of these things, our goals, our desires, our spending time and money and resources on, are rooted in the comparison of somebody else's life, somewhere we want to be, someone we want to look like, so that we feel like we've accomplished, we've arrived at this place. Think about social media and how it drives us towards envy and jealousy and wishing we had something if somebody else had. The question is, how much more do we really need? You know, America is the richest nation on the planet, when nearly 50% of the planet, almost 4 billion people, live on less than $7 a day. And yet we strive for more and to get more. And how much more do we need? You think about it, we're praying for, thinking about, striving for a bigger house and a bigger garage, when 4 billion people would be happy to live in your garage, your current garage. And I know I'd have to move some stuff around to make sure they could live there. But all the things we buy, the food we buy, the Costco, the BJ's, and we throw out more food than we eat, to be honest. 4 billion people would find it a blessing just to eat out of our trash, all the food we throw away. And that's pretty sobering. So I'm going to challenge you to reassess your goals and your resolutions this year. Make sure you're not striving or chasing after the but there is one you can strive for. And here's my encouragement for you. You can strive for the close the close Jesus says in John 15, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you abide in me, get close to me, so close you will bear much fruit. Those who don't abide in me, those who don't stay close to me, can do nothing, he says, nothing of kingdom value. And so when we strive for the other things, we think we're going to be fuller and we're left with discontentment. If we strive to get closer to Jesus, he promises a full life, an abundant life. And so that's what we want to make sure we're doing in 21 days. It'll spill over into the rest of the year. Are we getting closer to Jesus? How close? I don't know. Closer than last year, closer than last week. So you're going to have to say say no to some things. Maybe say no to some sleep. Maybe say no to some things you're chasing in life, and say, I need to say yes to getting closer to Jesus. More time in worship, more time in his word, more time listening to him, writing things down, hearing his heartbeat, hearing his voice. And when I'm closer to Jesus, I'm going to find I'm going to get closer to those around me, my family, my kids, my friends, and even those he wants to use me in their lives. I'm going to be closer to others. And I promise you, if the one you're seeking this year is to be closer to Jesus, you will absolutely feel full by the end of the year, because you're going to seek first his kingdom, seek first Jesus, and everything else will be added to you. I'm praying for your life, Coast, over the next 3 weeks, that we all get closer to Jesus so we can look more like Jesus and be used more by Jesus in the world around us. I love you guys.